you want? Sit down. What is this for?
So that was something that you checked before? Still point that towards me like that.
Michigan on February 29th, 1956. Her mother, Diane Warnos, was 14 years old when she married 16-year-old Leo Dale Pittman, and they got married on June 3rd, 1954. Now, between the two of them, they actually had a son first, and he was born in March of 1955. And then the couple, they were together for 2 years, and then Eileen's mother, she became pregnant again, this time with Eileen. 2 months before Eileen was born, that's when Diane had filed for divorce from her husband, her then husband. Eileen, she actually never got the opportunity that we know of to meet her father, because at the time of her birth and throughout most of her life or her childhood, he was in prison. He was arrested and convicted of the rape and attempted murder of a 7-year-old girl. I know. He was also diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he was in and out of prison. He was in and out of mental health hospitals. He would be in and out of prison for various sex crimes against children. So Eileen never got to meet him, because then in January of 1969, he committed suicide by hanging himself in prison. Yeah, it's rough right out the gate. So in January of 1960, Eileen was almost 4 years old at the time. Well, guess what? Her mom takes Eileen and her brother to their grandparents' house, okay? Takes him off. She tells him, like, yeah, we're just gonna go visit your grandparents, whatever. She takes him there, she drops him off, and she never comes back. She ditched them at her grandparents' house. According to the grandparents, they didn't know, like, this was the plan at all. A couple of months after Eileen's mom dropped her and her brother off at her grandparents' house, I think it was like in March 1960, that's when legally the grandparents would adopt Eileen and her brother. By the age of 11, Eileen began engaging in sexual activities in exchange for drugs, cigarettes, and food. And she would do this even at school, so with other kids or outside of school as well, which is wild to think at the age of 11, this is what she was doing. Now, sadly for Eileen and her brother, their home life with their grandparents was awful, just garbage. Eileen would say that her and her brother, they would engage in sexual relations at home together. I know. But most of all, Eileen would say that her grandfather was an alcoholic, and he would assault her and beat her throughout her childhood. He would also rape her. I don't know about the brother. I would assume maybe, but I don't know, so I guess I shouldn't assume anything. Grandfather, a shitbag. And it gets worse. He would allow friends of the family to come by the home, come on by, and they would participate in the abuse. They would rape Eileen. Again, I'm not sure about the brother, but for Eileen, this was her experience growing up, which is fucked up. Sadly, at the age of 14, Eileen, she becomes pregnant. Ugh, I know. Sad. Awful. God. How awful of a childhood is that?
What'd you say? What'd you say? Go on then.